Is your JennAir slide-in electric downdraft range refusing to heat up? This is David with AppliancePartsPros.com, and today we're going to break down why your oven might not be working and how to fix it. Most of the time, the problem comes down to one of four parts: the control board, the bake element, the broil element, or the oven sensor. The good news, these are easier to test and replace than you might think, even if you're new to appliance repair. Let's bring the heat back to your kitchen. With over 2 billion products in stock and the know-how to help you do it yourself, we are AppliancePartsPros.com. For today's job, you'll need a Phillips head screwdriver, a 1/4-inch nut driver, and a multimeter. Most importantly, always disconnect your range before starting. Either unplug it or flip the breaker. Once the power's off and your tools are ready, we can start troubleshooting. To access a control board, start by removing the screws that hold the control panel. Carefully tilt the panel forward to reveal the electronic oven control, or EOC. The bake and broil relays are located here. Now for this test, we'll be working with live voltage. Extreme caution is a must. If you're not comfortable using a multimeter around live voltage, skip this part. Set the oven to bake. Then place one probe on the bake relay output terminal, blue connector, yellow wire, and the other on the yellow connector with a red-white wire. You should measure about 240 volts AC. If the element is good, but there's no voltage leaving the control, the relay has failed and the control board needs to be replaced. To test the bake element directly, slide the range out and remove the rear cover. Make sure the power is off. The bake element will be towards the bottom of the range. Locate the terminals and disconnect both wires. Set your multimeter to resistance, ohms, and place a probe on each terminal. A healthy bake element should read around 22 ohms at room temperature. If you get an open circuit or a much higher reading, the element's bad. Next, reconnect the wires temporarily, restore power, and set the oven to bake. Carefully test for voltage across the two element terminals. You should see around 240 volts AC. If the voltage is there but the element doesn't heat, it needs to be replaced. If there's no voltage, you're likely dealing with a wiring or control board issue. Cut the power again before moving on. The broil element is located at the top back of the oven and it's tested the same way. Locate the terminals and disconnect the wires. Set your meter to resistance. A good broil element should measure between 12.5 and 18 ohms. Reconnect the wires, restore power, and set the oven to broil. You should measure 240 volts AC across the terminals. No voltage means a control or wiring issue. If voltage is present but there's no heat, the element has failed. To test the oven sensor, head back to the control board. Disconnect the sensor harness and place your multimeter probes across the two sensor wires. Set your meter to resistance. At room temperature, the sensor should read around 1,000 ohms. At 350 degrees, it should climb to about 1,654 ohms. If it's shorted, open, or way out of range, the sensor or its wiring needs to be replaced. If the sensor checks out but you're still getting sensor errors, then the control board is at fault. Once you've identified the failed part, removal is pretty simple. For the control board, just take off the panel, disconnect the harness,
Screws you're removing real quick.
and slide the board out of its bracket. Here's the old part, and here's the new one. If you've already got your replacement, you're ahead of the game. If not, you can get the exact match for your model at AppliancePartsPros.com. Reinstall everything in reverse. For the control board, seat the board in the bracket. Reconnect the harness. And reinstall the panel. Go ahead and restore power to the oven, and that's it. Once you've tracked down the problem and swapped in the right part, make sure to jot down your model number and head to AppliancePartsPros.com to order replacements. Most parts arrive in just a couple of days, so you won't be without your oven for long. Need help with the install? Come back to our video guides anytime. And if this helped you out, hit that like button and share your repair story in the comments. We'd love to hear how it went. Thanks for watching, and thanks for choosing AppliancePartsPros.com. We're here to make do-it-yourself appliance repair simple, successful, and something you can be proud of.